The graduate course is an opportunity for teachers to commit themselves for the year to diving more deeply into the brain-based research and the impact it can have on their own personal practices and the practices at the school.
We come here with great spirits and hope and thankfulness, gratitude for your being here and taking on the work.
They dive much more deeply into the brain-based research.
What it does highlight is this gap between if you're of a fixed mindset or a growth mindset, that difference in scores. So our ability to fade this one out and make it mirror this is pretty profound.
One of the things we focus on with M3 is to take what we're learning and discussing and to then say, okay, now let's apply it right away. Stand up, that'll help.
Stand up.
And you want just a little bit of space because you're going to put your arms out. What you want to do is you want to take, in one hand, you want your thumb and your forefinger to be connected. In the other hand, you want your thumb and your pinky to be connected. And see how effectively and quickly you can do it. So, let's see.
What were you saying to yourself? Were you saying, oh no, there's no way I'm going to get this one down? Or were you saying, ooh, this is awesome and challenge? So it's the beginning of that introduction of what's that internal voice and turning up the volume on that internal voice that gives you a message for fixed or growth.
And so while it begins with their individual practices, it then grows to they are helping their colleagues and the school as a whole shift the teaching practices. Okay, so with your free write responses in hand, we are going to form a big circle around the outside of the table.
Oh, I'm really excited to continue to level the playing field for our underserved population.
And I'm looking forward to spending a few days with the students really looking at the curriculum. And I think after those few days, a lot of my questions will be answered and we'll be ready to hit the ground and go.
We are having our first student facilitator training for the M3 program.
Okay, so then they're going to come up with ideas for each station? Are they going to rotate through the stations?
They'll rotate through the stations.
Station rotation.
They've known that they're going to be teaching their teachers and teaching their peers, but I think reality is set in right now and they have a really intense level of focus.
We can shift our mindset from fixed to growth by recognizing our internal script, rewriting that script, and practicing and applying the new script in different situations. So it's talking about self-talk.
One is over here.
Which one, this one? Or the positivity? This one. The mindset. So wanting to have a growth mindset, knowing what a growth mindset is.
Like what kinds of examples, like from the world or actually from the classroom?
Like if they see someone having a fixed mindset, they could go over to them and tell them you should do this to try and make it a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset.
The youth are incredibly capable of putting this in their own words, taking their own perspective on it, which is a unique perspective.
What are concrete steps you can personally take to build a growth mindset and hold high expectations for yourself?
It's been nice to bring some of the students that I spend a lot of time working with in the school who struggle with this idea of growth mindset and finding new patterns and not just relying on their old ways and having them here at the table.
We're going to be using a figure stick, and you have to put two of them together, and then you have to go and you have to do it without messing up.
They're thinking about their learning in ways they haven't before. So they're actually thinking about how they go about learning, not the content itself. But I'm seeing light bulbs go off and seeing them make personal connections to what's happening or recognizing, oh yeah, I've done that.
Is it okay if I'm the teacher who teach this? Yeah, sure. You can call up people too. You come here. Okay, so you do the finger tapping. Okay, you model the finger tapping thing. Okay. So today, class, we are going to be doing the finger tap.
You're going to be going through the very thing you're asking them to change on. So hats off to a lot of you for being honest about that. and still willing to do this and challenge yourself.
Yeah, and you're gonna grow.
I think M3 is just a great experience to get your school involved with and to just really buy into it. You have to go in with like the open mind, with your growth mindset.
So have a great time tomorrow. I am so super happy with all the progress that you've made today.
And I think a round of applause for their commitment to this work.
We're gonna be presenting something from grade. And then there'll be a play in the middle of the slide, which is gonna be
Hi, my name is Parker and I joined M3 to help people have a growth mindset. So if they say they can't do something, they say I can't do it yet.
To maximize the impact of M3, it is necessary to have a deep and authentic partnership between youth and adults.
What are we up to in a nutshell? We are going to lead 6 advisory sessions and a celebration to introduce the concept of fixed and growth mindset.
What are their goals? What's the purpose? What are they trying to accomplish with their work? So that all of the teachers have an understanding of what's being taught in these advisories and can help to reinforce those ideas in their own teaching.
Share any successful strategies you have employed to help shift these students' mindsets.
I started the year actually this year with doing an activity where they wrote on their paper, on a paper, how they feel when they make a mistake. I'm embarrassed. I feel stupid, and I had them crumple it up and like throw it against the wall just to get rid of it.
So everyone is starting to shift their mindset around mistakes, and then in a way, when you make a mistake and you say, "Oh, I don't know that yet."
Sam, no time for snoozing.
Yeah, it's time for your workout.
Workout? I don't have time for exercise. I have to study for this test. No, it's time for your brain workout.
What kind of shape, you know?
I'm just not as bright as some of the people in my class.
Hey, none of that chat, sister. Everyone can learn to learn, okay? What do you remember about science class from the first half of the quarter? Hey, long-term, what's up?
Sorry, who's this?
Sam, this is long-term storage, the part of your brain where all the information that you learned is stored for future use.
I'm your personal bank vault for learning.
Cool. Okay, long-term storage. What do you have for me? And what do I have stored in there from my first half of the quarter?
And that begins to shift the role. And this is where it connects to the personalized learning, proficiency-based learning, because now you can really elevate the role of students in their education. They can take on much more of a partnership with their teachers, and it becomes something that is a shared responsibility of each, the learner and the teacher.
The youth co-facilitators will be primarily responsible for these sessions. We will need help with things like behavior management. We will be figuring out how to cue you that we need you to please step in this sort of situation.
Mindset is the biggest thing, influencer of closing that gap between our students who live in poverty and our students who are in the middle class. And I think that's something really important for this environment, considering that we have about 80% of our students who are living in poverty. So
the brain is a muscle, and that the more we use it, the stronger it gets, and that we can create new pathways.
What can I do? What can I do to make this student have faith in themselves that they can do this, and thinking about it as intrinsic motivation and feeling powerless about that, and knowing now that there are ways, that there are things that I can do that will be magical. What's the bottom line of why it's worth it?
And one of our students was sick on the day of the play.
He had a really big
said,
part.
You have to have another part. Oh, I don't want to. I'm like, you've got this. And he did it. But then I saw a whole change in his demeanor. He was like, when we were coming down here, he was smiling. And
we picked a range of students that we knew would face different challenges in different ways. Quiet students where presenting would be tough.
It was fun to be the grown-up in the
charge.
room. I thought that was fun.
Frustrating and fun.
Yeah.
Somewhere, they'd have to regulate their own behavior a little bit more if they're going to model things.
It's kind of funny to watch how we act in a classroom, just seeing the way they act.
There's not an end. You can always keep learning more, and see some of them start to do that is a really nice thing to see.
Find a nice way to close it. Like you just say, thank you so much for giving us your attention over the course of these.
The core of the M3 initiative are the peer-taught advisory sessions.
So we got this.
Like literally a 30-second conversation each are having.
Okay.
Does that make sense a little bit?
Yeah, that's a lot easier. Thank you.
They're partnering with their adult advisors. They're collaborating, working together. But for those 30 to 45 minutes, the youth are leading the learning.
How are you going to react to the news you have a pop quiz, and why do you react this way? Now create a skit showing us how that part of your brain reacts. So we can learn about how we learn. We'll be creating a skit to demonstrate what that part of the brain does.
A lot of us want to see immediate results. We've done it for 6 weeks, but the seed is there.
Maybe I can't do this, but self-concept is exactly that opening and closing of
So it's
the
like
opportunity.
in class, if you were like, I don't even want to really learn, like,
Yes, but you can if you believe you can.
We are trying to take where we were and really move us here, and that is something that is going to take a concerted effort. It's going to take time.
like something like a school day, like you could be a teacher. Or the person that sits in the corner. And then we could be, like, I could be one of the students.
There's a test tomorrow.
You need to help me study. I know, you need to learn for this test.
When I had a fixed mindset, I thought, I can't do it yet. And even just that little joke like reminded me, okay, I need to take a deep breath, have a growth mindset.
I kind of just pushed her away, saying, and fully closing it, saying I don't want to learn. And then when I eventually listened to the teacher and realized we have a test, I open it again and pull back my angel. In what ways and what strategies are you using, and what questions are you asking yourself as you learn?
I thought I was in a growth spurt before going into this, and it's been, it's a really big climb.
That it's uncomfortable at first. You're nervous, because I had that feeling.
I mean, I just think about things that I've learned that I'm trying to convey to the students, but really I need to practice myself.
That's your opportunity for the week, and yeah. Wait,
Damn it, there was a last.
okay, so this is the last session of 3. So any questions from anything of the past 6 weeks?
I think about all the time, how can I have a conversation with someone and explain to them what M3 is all about? And I'm not sure that I can, which is why I think the video is going to be great.
Like, after my first session dealing with the whole teaching the M3 thing, I didn't want to do it again. It seemed boring, hard, everything like that. I wanted to give up, but the yet thing kept me there. And it's like the only reason that I actually still did it today was because knowing that I couldn't do it yet, but I could improve. Yeah.